I want to talk to you today about knowing who you are and knowing your place. Knowing who you are and knowing your place. We talked about that this is the year. Y'all know we've been in ministry for 20-something years, and we've never pushed, a year being anything. So, and it's not the significance of, December 31st or January 1st, but the significance is the season. And the season changes based off what you've sown into your life, away from your life, into others. You reap your harvest. For someone to tell you you got a harvest and you didn't sow anything to get it, you know it's a lie. But it's somehow the church got hope in believing fairy tales. You know you have not done anything to qualify to go down from a size 16 to a size 10.
Amen. Amen.
But somebody prophesied to you and said, this is your year. Within 30 days, you're going to be a size 10. And then you sit there thinking about, well, who going to eat all of what I got? Them cakes and pies. You thinking about that. But in the same, it feels so good that I'm going to get something and it don't cost me anything.
Come on.
God giving me a promise that I don't have to work for. But it is work in your next level in God.
Come on.
We're living a year, this is going to be the beginning. This is not just a year. This is the beginning of living a life under open heaven, but it costs you something.
Yes, yes.
And based off what you're willing to pay will determine what you get back.
Ooh, my Lord. Come on.
Well, you can put in a little, but ye that sow sparingly, reap sparingly. You understand that?
Amen.
If you invest in yourself like you ought to, if you invest in your vision and your dream like you ought to, I'm talking about not so much what I can squeeze in, but it becomes a part of my life. If I invest in that, I have a right to expect to see a harvest in that.
Amen.
If you're too busy to build your family, if you don't have a vision for your family, don't be surprised when nobody is together for Thanksgiving. Because where there is no vision, something's going to perish. So you need vision for what's important or what you claim is important for your life.
Amen.
The difference between a visionary and a dreamer just wish and hope that it happens. A visionary got a plan to bring it to pass. Are you listening to me? That's what I want, and I'm going to find out how I need to get it.
Come on.
So go to Ecclesiastes chapter number 10, verse number 5. If you don't know who you are, you'll always be in the wrong position.
Yes, Lord.
You'll always talk crazy. You'll always, there is, and I'm going to bring out some stuff. This is an old sermon I taught years ago that I got information from. I abstracted information from it. And the research that we put into what you believe and what you know about yourself and how it impacts your life. Because if you don't believe you are who God say you are, you'll act like somebody else.
Come on.
When you believe that that's your house, you walk in different. When you walk into a house, you know that ain't yours.
Amen.
There's another level of comfort. There's another level of peace. All right? So you got to get to the place that I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who God say I am. And not only that, but I got to get to the place that God wants me to conduct myself like I know.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Can you imagine right now if your child walk up to you and say, is it all right if I get a glass of water? Now your response is not even yes or no. But you give that, I mean, what is this? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you not acting like this is your home? You have kids that is something like mine. Not only will they get the water, they're going to get what they ain't supposed to get. They'll come in your room and get stuff. They're going to drink up what's not theirs and just sit there. That's all they do. There's certain things that's automatic when this is your home. You understand? You don't ask to go to the bathroom. You don't ask, can I have something to drink? All right? There are certain things you don't do. Now, you run your house how you got to run it. Now, he said, well, my kids got to ask for some stuff. Well, that's you and your kids. I ain't trying to change your house. All I'm saying is that when people are home, or you embrace people, or you see people that this is your home, there are certain things you don't ask me. It just come with the package.
Amen.
All right?
Amen.
There is an evil I have seen under the sun. The sort of error that arises from a ruler, meaning somebody in authority have put things in motion that is evil. Somebody that has the authority or has the connections, a person of influence, whether they're influencing people for good or bad, they influence people. This is under the sun. Come on, verse 6, come on. Fools are put in many high positions. Now, I'm not making a political statement here. I'm just reading the Bible. While the rich occupy the low ones. Come on. I have seen slaves on horseback, while princes go on foot like slaves. Now, stay right there for a second. I want you to get something. This is not talking about slavery as we know it in America, right? This is just talking about the conditioning of the mindset. The slave is on horseback and the prince is walking. Now, this is what the Bible calls evil, is when somebody's supposed to be in one place, but they're somewhere else because of the influence of someone in authority that have put some evil, some negative, something to misconstrue your thinking about yourself. This is somebody in some type of authority. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Somebody in authority. Do something that make people that should be on the horses get off the horses and start walking, and the people that was walking put them on the horse, and this is all right. But the Bible said there's an evil to this. Come on, let me read the next verse. And whoever digs a pit may fall into it, into it. Whoever breaks through a wall may be bitten by a snake. Now, why is all that is important? Because God is simply saying, you're trying to set a trap for somebody else's demise. Now, the wall part is, now I'm just making a statement here. It's just factual. The wall part is, you are inhabiting a land that don't belong to you. Walls were put up to keep the enemy out and friends in. You understand? But the Bible is saying when you go tear down a wall to occupy something that's not yours, it's not the people that you have maybe have dominated that going to get revenge. God's saying it's me you got to deal with. Now I need you to get this, because this is so important. You can start becoming something God never intended because of situation and circumstances and how you were brought up. Your mental conditioning, how you see yourself, how you understand yourself. If you were born poor, you'll think a house and a car mean I'm a success. If you were born under certain conditions, you think you're better than somebody else just because you ain't had no baby before you got married. Depending on how you brought up, it'll influence how you see other people. You'll start judging people different. Now, here's what you got to understand. Everything you learn about success that had nothing to do with God, you got to flush it. You got to get rid of it. You got to get rid of it. Do you know there are people that will give up their peace to have fame? There are people that will give up their happiness so that I can be seen in a certain light. You got to understand, success without peace ain't much of nothing. Right. Stop thinking if I just can get this, I'm going to be all right. Materialism has to be totally separated from your joy. You enjoy them, but that cannot be your joy. What you drive cannot determine whether or not you're going to be happy. Are you listening to me? Whether or not you can afford name brand clothes cannot be the determination whether or not you're going to have joy. If I'm going to have joy, I got to be able to separate from what I wear from who I am. What you wear can't define you. How much money you got in the bank can't define you. I should not know whether or not you have $1 million in the bank or whether you have $100 in the bank. Your bank account should not define you. Listen to me. You can't shun certain people because you think they're beneath you. That means you think more highly of yourself than you ought to. The moment you start holding your nose up at people is because you're thinking more highly of yourself than you ought to. So I need you to know who you are, and I need you to know your place. Who you are in God means more than anything you could have ever done wrong. Who you are in God means more than anything you could have ever done wrong. I don't care what nobody knows about you. I don't care what you did. I don't care how many times you did it. I don't care how many kids you got. I don't care nothing about none of that. Who you are in God overrides. Now, as long as I can keep your identity hidden on who you are in God, I don't have to worry about you walking it out. If you don't know that's your house, the people in it ain't never got to worry about an eviction. You understand? You need to know who you are. You got to be clear on your identity. You got to be clear that God said I'm his child. And all of us that have ever had children know some could have been better than where they are, but they chose to do something different. But we don't take their name from them.
Right.
We don't change that you're my daughter, you're my son. I told you there's absolutely nothing my kids can ever do to make me stop loving them. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I don't care what you think you know about my kids. It will never ever make me stop loving my kids.
Amen.
All right? Now there's a difference. And then I also said this. I know some of y'all don't agree with it, but you got to run your house the way you run yours. All right? My kids will always have a place to call home. Always. I would never ever tell my kids that you can't live here. Now, you can't live here under your rules. Because my mama told me. Somebody say talking about his mama now. My mama told me grown folk don't live with grown folk. Now, as long as we ain't got but 2 grown folk, you can live here. He said, well, you got to put him out. So I'm not putting my son out to make him a man. If I can't make him a man in the house, what make you think I can make him a man by throwing him out? I can't do it. I can't do it. If I fail with him in my custody, how am I going to be a success? Throwing him away from me. Now you run your house the way you need to run it, all right? My kids will always have a place to stay. But now they may not have a car to drive, but they'll have somewhere to live. I tell you that. Just because you live here don't mean you have access to all the amenities to the house. No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't borrow my car. Come on. Now y'all know. They said, well, they stand there. They go. I told you to run your house the way you want to run yours. I'm gonna run mine the way I want to run mine. All right. All right. You're always gonna have something to eat. You're always gonna. You understand? Now you will. You can live here. You can call this home as long as you understand your position and you understand my position. You got a place to stay. You understand that? If you decide to be great, if you decide to be nothing, you're always going to have a place to call home. You ain't leaving here because you won't get a job. You understand that? That you're going to walk everywhere you got to go. But I know what the fight going to be because their mama's going to try to take them somewhere. No, they can't use the car. No, they can walk. This is not because it's not my job to uproot their harvest and plant what I want them to have and make them live my harvest. Right. They want to be broke. You said they don't want a job? People that don't want a job don't want a car. Why are you giving them a car? People that don't want a job don't want money in their pocket. Why are you giving them money? People that don't want to work don't want a choice on what they want to eat, what they're going to eat. You eat what I cook. Oh, you don't like leftovers? My mama. Well, I'm telling you, my mama was a smart woman. My mama used to say, you just ain't got hungry yet.
Yes, right.
No, my mama said, you just ain't got hungry yet. When people chew, I don't want that. I don't eat that. That's all right. Sit a while. When you... Child, you start talking about something, I'm coming down, somebody got a headache. No, them hunger. Your body's telling you, we about to change our menu, what we eat and what we don't eat. And listen here, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but around the 3rd day, them collard greens gonna take like a snipper bar, I'll tell you that. Boy, you go back, I didn't know you put sugar in this, mama. Oh God, that thing sweet. Oh my goodness. You eat like my grandma with this little fork and spoon. Y'all everybody, I see all the young people say, what is that? Child, you get collard greens and cornbread, you don't use no utensil. Oh, let me leave that alone. I see that. Y'all about to say something about my grandma and slap the hell out you too. Knowing your identity is key to your success. Because if you don't know what you are called in God, if you don't know, names have something. Y'all sung that song, My Name is Victory. Names mean something. when people would name their children from our custom, the African culture, when people would name their children, the name had meaning. Native people would name their children, the name had meaning. Now, I'm not saying other people don't. I just know the cultures I study, all right? The name had meaning, all right? So you know, you see around, you look around and somebody say, you know, one kid asked his dad, he said, Daddy, how did my oldest brother get his name? Joy. He said, because he was the joy of your mom and our life. He said, well, and how did my sister get her name Peace? Because she brought peace into this house. He said, and how did this one get their name? How did I get their name? How did I get their name? And he said, listen, Torn Rubber, your name, you gotta stop asking so many questions. So everybody's name got to mean something. Research your name. Your name, listen to me. Now, you ain't gonna do it, but I'm gonna still tell you the truth. Because you're hard-headed, you're stubborn. Your mama gave you the name, and you got to live it out. You need to research your name. And if your name means something negative, you need to change it.
Come on.
Y'all don't like that. I know you're like, my mama named me after my sister. Well, if your sister named me, the devil to come. Your name, the devil to come. Come on now. It's time to change. Never be nothing. That would be. Now, the names have meaning. So you need to identify with how God sees you. Your identity is key to your success. And there is a difference. Oh God, this is what I picked up here. I need you to get this. There's a difference between your identity and your label.
Come on.
People will label you a certain way, but you got to know that that's not who I am.
Yes.
Al Sharpton said something at Michael Jackson's funeral. And I'm not an Al Sharpton fan. I'm really, so don't think I'm trying to give him some type of space or anything. But he told Michael Jackson's children, he said, your father wasn't weird to the world. The world was being weird to your father. Just because I don't look like you, all right, don't mean you get to label me.
That's right.
Any kind of way you see fit. For people to be free around you, you got to be free of judgment. You understand that? Whether I cut all my hair off, don't come to me talking about something, women should never cut her hair. But see, that's for you. And what God has given you, or how your parents have raised you, if you want to represent God, you have to isolate that thing, confine it to you.
Right.
Not for everybody. My mother said a lady, that's between you and your mother.
Right.
All right? Now, I don't know how your mama going to tell how you need to look. She was blind in one eye, couldn't see out the other. And she going around telling people what look good and what don't.
Right.
No! You got to confine. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if we're going to be a people of impact, a people of change, I got to know who God made me.
Right.
How God made me and my personality may be different than yours. Now catch this as well. If we're all the same, we can't reach different people.
Right.
We all look the same, dress the same, act the same, talk the same. We're limited in who we can reach. The love of God don't want no boundaries on it.
Amen.
Are you listening to me? He said, well, I heard. You know, remember telling you that thing we played New Year's Eve. You know, no matter what you heard about somebody, first off, do you have proof that is true?
Right.
If you ain't got no proof that it's true, then the next question is it going to help somebody?
Right.
Now, sometimes people just babble because you think you know.
Right.
Stop getting hungry. Stop having itching ears to know somebody else's business. Because just as sure if you got itching ears, you're going to have a lying mouth.
Come on.
I didn't think it'd get that quiet. I didn't think. Well, people can't pass up on the gospel, boy. I'm telling you, boy. Sometimes I used to call my wife. I say, hey, honey, how you doing? What you doing? Oh, I'm sitting here. I said, I got some gossip. You want to hear? Man, I ain't got time for this. She don't want to just say, yeah. But she don't want to say, yeah, get to me. I said, I got some good gossip. You want to hear it? Josh, she be acting like, if you got something to say, say it. Oh, Jesus. And I give it to her. I give her the gospel. I'm still at work. I'll be home around 3. I know she made that. I know she wanted to kick the dog. She think I got some goofy stuff. Yeah, I mean, just try some of your friends out. Just be like, listen here, you know Aunt Cheryl? Go to Aunt Cheryl. Aunt Cheryl, sit in the back, yeah. Child, I got some gossip. If they walk up closer to you, like we don't want everybody to hear this. Yeah, you need to cut that joker loose. Can I tell you something? The people you stop putting garbage into you will stop being your friend most of the time.
Yes, that's true. That's the truth.
I'm telling you, I've never had to correct a person twice about things I stood for. You know, there was a time Dr. Austin and I were real close, and he was really a great mentor in my life. And there was a person trying to tell me something about him. And they kept telling me, oh, you know, man, it ain't what it seems, blah, blah, blah. And I checked him one time. One time. I never had to say anything else. They never came back and be like, listen, I got some more difference. They never said that. They left me alone. If you don't stop something, you permit something.
Right.
All right? And if you're permitting it, there's something in you that likes it.
Come on.
To hang around people that's doing something you claim you don't do tells me there's something living in you that wish you could. I'm gonna leave that alone. Since y'all don't want to get deep, boy. I didn't hear that because I'm saying son of a nothing. Your mind must first be conditioned to walk in your true identity. Then your life will be a reflection of what you believe. All right, are you listening to me? I need to believe this about myself. And my life, who I am, it's proven. It's a proven fact that when you believe something about yourself, that not only will it condition you differently, but it will change how you see things, how you perceive things. Start telling your kids early. Well, one thing about such that they can save some money. If you keep pushing that on them, guess what? They're going to start saving money. The moment they believe it. You know, I love using this. People were going to die. Y'all heard me say it before. I like saying it because I want to kill that lie. People were going to die, lose 10 pounds. Have one day of vengeance. Get on the scale. They gain 8 of those pounds back. You want to know why? They believe it. They expect it. They believe it. It's in their mind. It's in their heart. And it shows up on the scale. When it's physically impossible for you to eat in one day 8 pounds of anything, that's going to stay on you. But you believe it. Your belief overrides the laws that have already been laid out. Keep in mind what God said. Anything they put their mind to do, they can accomplish it. If you believe something about yourself, it's going to show up. Let me finish this. Let me finish this. I don't know what time the Seahawks is playing. Your life will be a reflection of what you believe about yourself. A label can be anything, truth or lie, but your identity can only be true. A label on you can be truth or lie, but your identity can only be true. Because the moment it leaves your identity, it becomes a naked lie. Whether you live it out, it's still a lie. I don't care. Now, you ain't talking about nobody. I love everybody. Say, Pastor, love everybody. I don't care if Deacon Brian go put on a wig and a dress and say I'm a woman. It ain't gonna change. No, I mean they done got some razors and diggers and stuff, the chains and stuff. But I mean, come on. Just because you change your dress attire, that don't mean you are who you are. You can't sit in the garage and go, I ain't making no car. Listen, truth is truth. No more than you standing in the garage make you a car, make people that come to church a Christian. Come on to go a little bit further. People in college with common sense. Just because you're in college, I won't leave that alone. Some of y'all think. No, I know a lot of people that got a college degree. They're just as bugged out. I be asking, did the college do this? Or did you go into college like that? What happened? You got some people that can't connect the dots. They can't. Well, listen to me. If you are going to be who God say He wants you to be, I need to know the truth. I got to start feeding myself the truth. When a person loses their identity, they also lose an inner guidance, a spiritual completion, a spiritual force to be who God called you to be. If you lose your identity, that's why the Bible said the thief come but to kill, steal, and destroy. That's not just your marriage. That's just not mother and daughter relationship. You and your family. No, he also come to kill, steal, and destroy your true identity. Because your true identity links you to a character. And the only way they can kill that character is kill the identity. I'm going to tell you this. Now listen, me talking history don't mean I'm propelling anything negative or evil, but it's just true. There was a tribe called the Songhai tribe from Africa. This is a tribe of warriors. They were what most people were similar to what you know in the movies as Shaka Zulu. You know, his tribe, the Zulu tribe. And the men were taken from birth and trained to be warriors from birth. So you're in some cases genitalia is removed, things of, you know, so you could focus on war. This is who you are. It's not about you are, you know, I'm a husband and a warrior. No, you couldn't choose that. You were just a warrior. You were born and bred to kill the enemy. Are you listening? So the Songhai tribe would be captured in certain parts of Africa and brought to different parts of America and even some of the Caribbean islands. And when that slave was brought here, they could not be broken. They could not be broken. They were not only stubborn, but resentful. They were no good, because not only would they not work, but they would attack at any opportunity. They would destroy the enemy, because that's who they were. Not only would they destroy you, but it was already believed in them that they were called to destroy you. So no matter what it cost them, they would embark on destroying the enemy. The Songhai tribe, their rebellion was so strong to the Europeans and the Brits. And what would happen is that they could not control them. They were strong. They were obviously of great value if they could be broken. And what they would do was some of those warriors that didn't have, wasn't castrated, those that could produce, what they would do is they would have them to mate with other slaves and then take them away. The taking away of children was to lose identity, because they would raise their children based off how they were raised. Now, this information was brought by a German studier. He just studied this stuff. I don't want to give him any type of real credentials. His name was Johann Blumenbach, and he taught slave masters how to control their slaves. And for the Songhai tribe, his conclusion was that you cannot control them. You will never be able to break them. The only thing you can do is to kill their identity. Which means if they have children, separate them from their parents. That child will be of worth. But the father, the mother will be no good to you. Why? Because they know who they are. They believe in who they are. They know where they come from. And if you keep passing on generation after generation, they're going to keep reproducing themselves. So what they did was they would take the children. If a child was born in Virginia, that child would then be sent to one of the Carolinas. If they were born in Haiti, they would ship that child somewhere into America. Why? Because it was the part of a plan to destroy the identity. This is why the devil fights so hard to rob Christians of their identity. When you know and believe who you are, what God has called you to be, there is something in your brain that starts lining up with what you believe. Amen. The fight in this world started the moment Adam disobeyed God. Go to Matthew 4, verse number 8. The moment Adam disobeyed God. Because if I'm going to walk in my true identity, not only do I need to have understanding, but I have to have obedience. I got to trust God. I got to believe God. Because the devil will tell you, that can't be your identity, because we don't have no proof. Well, it's not that I need proof. I don't need proof that God exists. there's something in me that compels me to live for him with no physical proof. So when your identity is given to you, don't look for something. They say you royalty. You start thinking about, well, my mama was on welfare. I'm the first one to ever get a house. I'm the first one to ever finish school. I'm the first. No, no, no. If you come from royalty, you got to know. Maybe I have to skip over a few generations that didn't know their identity, but I'm getting mine. Amen. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. Come on. All this I will give you, he said, if you will bow down and worship me. Go into the next verse, verse number 10. Notice now, the devil is talking to Jesus. Notice what he said to Jesus. If you bow down and worship me, I'll give this to you. Jesus never said it ain't yours to give. He got it by giving a false delusion to Adam and Eve. He sold it to Eve. Eve had influence over Adam. Adam believed it. Now he got custody of everything in the world. Jesus said to him, away from me, Satan, for it is written, worship the Lord your God and serve him only. Now, if you start getting to the place that the devil can offer you something to change what God is telling you, you are a child of God. You are to only worship God. So just because the devil can offer you something that'll please people, everything that you want earthly, every materialistical thing, and listen, people want that more for the look it gives to others more than themselves. People will go broke so they can wear something they can't afford. I told you right now, some of y'all just need a car that gets you to work. You don't need to be trying to get no car where you're going to be trying to style and profile. Just get your butt to work. Stop trying to please. Somebody else told you this is good. Let me can I tell y'all something about the clothing industry? There are clothing and there are sneakers, foot apparel that come from different countries. And people in that country or in other countries and even in the same country will wear the same sneaker. The difference is the label. Oh, y'all thought them sneakers was exclusive. The label is exclusive. So what you know, they say, oh, this is a pattern. Listen, just because you got a pattern, if you got a pattern of a certain shoe, and they start making that shoe in the Middle East, who gonna go there to serve the papers, the court papers? You? No. Man, you ain't got no exclusive on that. You get stuck on a name brand, and even, and this, listen, I've been guilty of this. I know none of y'all have. Pray for your pastor. I will see something that I like, and immediately look at the tag and see who made it. Like I'm just who made this? Now, I will not wear certain brands because I don't like the quality of their material. When my kids was wearing Hollister and Abercrombie, Crombie, whatever that boy name is, and Fitch, I always preferred Fitch and his friend Abercrombie because Hollister clothes would wear out. Seems like holes just pop up. Just out of nowhere, just a hole. What kind of material is this? Now I know why them t-shirts be on sale all the time. Buy one, get 15 free. So Fitch had better material. So, you know, there are certain things. You know, I can look at things. You know, I usually buy 98% of my wife's clothes I buy. I can see something that I like, the style of this life, but now I need to look at the material. If the material looks cheap, I won't buy it. I don't care who name is on it. Some of y'all don't care what it looks. Y'all be so happy. Well, this hat is Flucci. I got on a Flucci. You so happy it's a Flucci, you don't even care. Do you know they have leather shoes that are soft leather? Like, I mean, like the baby. They call it, they used to call it elephant skin when I was in Brooklyn. They used to call it elephant skin. It's real soft. The slightest touch and it'll give you a snag. People used to go crazy for them coats. Now why do you want to have something that's going to rip up? I never understood that. Why do you want something that's going to check them on this here soft leather? We was looking at a car and they had some kind of leather in the car that talked about how soft it is and how gentle it is. But man, come on. Who wants to be getting in and out of the car? You concerned whether or not it's going to rip. Why would you pay more just because somebody's name is on this leather? Some of y'all think, I don't care what you say, Pastor. I'm going to give me some elephant skin. Well, go on. The University of Illinois found that there's a key area of your brain of intelligence. There's an area of your brain. Different parts of your brain do different things. The University of Illinois found key areas of your brain for intelligence, which is on the left side of your brain, called the prefrontal cortex, which is behind your forehead. Also the left temporal cortex, which is behind your ear. And the left parietal cortex at the top of your head. That these areas are all connected. Now, I want you to catch this. And the researchers of the University of Illinois have found that the brain, those areas of the brain, begin to plan and will also determine a person's self-control, a person's discipline, based on those areas of the brain that harbors their intellect. What they know about themselves, what they believe about themselves, and what they expect about themselves. If you believe or expect or look at yourself differently, your rationale change automatically. Immediately they say, if you believe you are of a certain class of people, you start processing information different. It don't have nothing to do with where you were brought up. You could be poor, but if you're brought up with certain morals, you still will respect your elders. The neighborhood has nothing to do with what you're going to become.
That's true.
God, y'all come on, y'all gonna get it. Y'all gonna get it. Where you was brought up will not determine your end result. Unless where you brought up change who you are. Let me tell you something. Y'all know my past. I was from Brooklyn. Not a good place. Where I was brought up from, you could not wear certain things in certain areas unless somebody knew you or you had the means of stopping them. Every time I've been robbed, it was because I was young. That's the truth. I've never had nobody like to walk up to me, pull out a gun, rob me, type stuff. I never had that. Every time I've ever got robbed, which was twice in my life, I was literally like just beat down, and they took what I had. And now, I wasn't a punk by no means. I've never once talked back to the people at church. Never, ever. Now you talking about somebody that sold guns. I never sold drugs because I was a Christian, but I sell guns. I sold guns. Me getting access to a gun in Brooklyn is as easy as as $100. All right, I don't know about the TV shows where you can buy a gun for $15. I don't know about that. All right, $100 can get you a gun. It was nothing. Walked around with a gun all the time. I had to carry a gun even after I gave my life to Christ because of my past and where I come from. I never once walked up to an old person because it was disrespectful. Now, who I was in the streets didn't change. Come on now. See, when certain things are put in you, you live it out.
That's right.
My grandmother, I'll never forget, I was outside when I was playing as a kid. A milk cart was major. That's like what some of these kids call a mongoose bike. A milk cart. That's not a box. The box is going to tear out. You only get so many pulls or pushes and it start ripping and stuff. But that milk cart, ooh, boy, I tell you, that's gold. And you can tie ropes to it and all that stuff. You know what I mean? You go get your sister jump rope or something like that, tie it, and you pull, you can take turns pulling each other, all that. Oh, it's fun. I had a milk cart outside, and the lady took my milk cart, picked it up. And I said something mean. I said, lady, you took my milk cart, you big fat, you took my milk cart. And my grandmother snatched me up. She said, God, shorten your days. She said, you want to have your days shortened over a milk cart? A child, that little milk crate I saw going down the street, she knew it was mine too, little devil. She took my milk cart, but my grandmother told me, if I ever got disrespectful to my elders, God will shorten my days. Child, let me tell you something, man. I'm going to live a long time. I ain't give up none of my days. You can love your kids all you want. You give a kid, allow your kids to have too much mouth, you can plan their funeral.
That's true.
That ain't got nothing to do with you and whether or not you're sorry. That's between God and the rule He established. But leave that alone. Some of y'all look like, let me hurry get my baby a casket.
Wow.
So the university have declared, if I can get certain things on your mind about yourself, it will automatically control how you govern yourself, how you live your life. The devil comes to steal your identity because he wants you to believe you're something that God never intended. You're a bad person. If you really love God, you wouldn't do that. I mean, come on, let's just face it. All of y'all on that side of the church have messed up. You've done wrong. We ain't going to talk about what it was. The people they're looking at, what side is he talking about? Which side? You know, you messed up. You've done wrong. We've all done. If you don't know anything about God's grace and mercy, you'll feel like you don't qualify to even get in His presence. What mistakes you made do not separate you from God's love. If you really knew God's love, that's why I am so slow to tell anybody you're going to hell. I keep it right point blank to the Bible. You don't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you ain't going to make it in. You are a fool if you're going around here telling people they're going to hell because you know one of their sins and you ain't doing that particular sin.
Right.
Amen.
Honey Bunch, you want God to come down here and get you. He said, well, God didn't come down and get that Hennessy out your pocket. I don't understand why He's going to touch my rent. No, you be sitting up here talking about, you know, trying to make people think they're going to hell because they're doing something a little different than you. The devil is, where y'all get that foolishness from?
Right.
Everybody on that side of the church, I got a problem with you. I'm telling you, you got to get to the place, I need to know who I am in God. And I got to walk in. The church is hindered because you believe something about yourself that's not true. You're never going to be perfect. God said, listen to me. You think you are all that you act out, but I know the very thoughts you are having.
Right.
Amen.
You can't be looking at people talking, Y'all be looking at people, child, you don't turn around. But you done took them all the way home. You know when you close your eyes, that boy you coming, boy, I'll tell you something, boy, that look pretty good to you, boy. You look, woo. Child, you done raped that poor little man all her.
Wow.
Listen, that woman ain't have a chance. You know they stomped their foot, boy. You stop it. I'm telling you, boy, when you say this. When they turn around and walk the other way, they fight that temptation to run after that. Child, God said, I know what you're thinking. No, come on now. That right there should let you know God loves you.
Amen.
Not what you did, but what you thought about. You know, that's some freaky stuff right there. Some of y'all, I can see it on you now, you nasty thing. God said, I still love you though. I still love you. You ain't be going home daydreaming about what it's going to be like to be married to somebody. They don't even know you. I mean, you meet somebody at the job. How about named Jerome? You done took Jerome to the altar? Y'all in the honeymoon? Y'all play fighting at home? Jerome, don't remember your name. You done got the wrong one right in the drawer. God said, I know everything you thought about you and Jerome. I know. Well, I'm telling you, you ain't going to think about what you've been thinking now. God said, I know all that. And I still love you. It's cool. You good. It's hard to believe God loves you when you know some of the stuff that's on your mind.
Amen. Amen.
They used to tell me, if you're thinking about it, you might as well go ahead and do it. I swear that was the biggest thing that pushed me into deep fornication. No, I'm serious. They told me if it's on your mind, you might as well go do it. Because if a man thinketh in his heart, that's who he is. Well, if it's on my mind. No, but that ain't, come on now. You ain't every thought that pop up in your head.
Amen.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Some of y'all, well, I'm telling you, whew, some of y'all have more child support than a little bit. No, listen to me. The devil comes to steal your identity that you think you different because you ain't perfect. You still part of the family. Your lying self, still part of the family. Deceptive, sneaky, yeah, you still part of the family. People seem to think that God can't use me because I'm not like somebody else. Because I don't want you like them.
Right.
Because I know who they are in the dark.
Right.
I'd rather have you, now I'm not telling you to go do this. I'd rather have you out here smoking your cigarette, rolling up your blunt, whatever you're doing. I'd rather have you right here. At least I know what, listen, the people know what they're dealing with. Right. Now, as for this one, these are the people that smile in their face, then run them down. As soon as they walk away. They're the snakes in the church here. At least with you, I know what I'm working with. I'm going to tell you something, ain't nothing like having somebody that's going to tell you the truth.
Amen.
No, I don't like you. I don't like you. Did I do something to you? No, you didn't do anything. I just don't want to get down with you like that, all right? So if you could just stay out of my face. You need to appreciate that.
Yes.
Child, your feelings all hurt. You know you can't eat. Some of y'all, when you're not accepted, some of y'all just toe up. I was talking to someone. This is the truth. So I always try to help my people, all right? And in spite of what you may think, and this is something I was talking to my kids about, sometimes most people don't have no more than barbershop talk. And when you only have barbershop talk, you probably don't know what you're talking about. And people say, well, you know, black businesses don't help black businesses. Stop repeating that lie.
Right.
If you haven't done research, shut up. You're the stupid one. Because you're propelling something that's not true.
Right.
Do you know that most black people in business seek out other black business in the 90% range? You thought you was the only one. So stop repeating that garbage. Now listen to this. So I had some of my people, they were in business, and they wanted to charge me $8,400 for a job they said would take them 3 weeks. And I can get estimates on it would take 3 to 4 days for $1,500. So I sent them a message. I said, listen, I want to help you. I said, I think what you should do, and I gave them some advice. Man, I'm telling you something, boy, if they could have came through that test, child, I'd be preaching up there with shades on. They would have whooped my behind. People, listen to me, people will want to be something, but will resist the people in their life to make them that way.
Right.
When you know who you are, you got to also embrace what I need to change to walk in that. You can't make your wrong right and walk in your true identity. If somebody telling you, listen, that hairstyle is not going to work, you say, well, I like it. But if you're going on a job interview, it's not about, you know, I heard a preacher say this. I understood what he was saying, but he said it all wrong. He told the people, he said, listen to me. He said, I used to work for a bank. He probably was a teller. And he said, I used to work for a bank, and I used to oversee all these millions of dollars. And I understand finances, all right? Little banks are not overseen by one person. Like, you know, the bank got $1 billion. One person ain't signing $1 billion check like they do in the movies. Oh, okay, I see y'all don't know nothing about that. So he said, I was at the bank, I was a teller, and I'm trying to tell y'all some stuff. He said, stop trying to prove you black. That's what he said. In church. He said, stop trying to prove you black. He said, you can't go there with this, your hair looking natural. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? He said, you got to straighten it out. You can't be wearing your African garbs and all these. So it is what it is. Now, he wasn't my pastor. I know what he was trying to say. What he was trying to say is that if you need something from someone, you can't try to force what they resist and get the help.
Right.
You understand that? Mm-hmm. His intellect, you know, thank God he was just a teller. But so you got to understand when people say, listen, baby, I wouldn't wear that on the interview.
Right. That's true. Yes.
And you say, well, I like these yoga pants. Show what I'm made of. This is not the time to show what you made of. No, the people trying to help, but you try to push. See, the thing is, when your true identity comes, it's going to clash with what the devil have been putting in your life for years now. Some of you were raised with the wrong identity. Tell you right now. This is what, you don't even try to go there. Because them white folk ain't gonna let you there. Don't even try. Listen here. All you need is a good job, a good woman, and be happy. Now why I can't have 3 jobs? No, listen, stop thinking that how I was brought up to now is what God wants from me. I need to know my identity and embrace what needs to be changed for me to walk in it. If I have been called to be financially successful, I now need to break some habits. Because if you don't have financial success, I guarantee you there are some things you need to change.
That's right.
Can you save? The only time you can buy something is when you get your tax return. You're financially, let me put it nice. Your intelligent margin when it comes to financial security is not at an all-time high at the moment. Somebody need to tell you, you have to learn to live without. And we need another car in my house, right? We only have 2. We're just an average little poor family, 2 little cars. We need another one. We don't want one. We need another one before the summer. So I got orders from God. Everything I got, God has helped me with. I got orders. I'm looking at this. I got telling my kid, I don't know if we're going to get a car this summer. I don't know. Because I need to be at a certain place by a certain time. And listen here, we're going to have to be, people make it with 1 car. All right then. People make it with no car.
Come on.
Man, when I was a kid, I used to walk. I was in Brooklyn. This is no lie. I would walk so far. We used to walk downtown Brooklyn. That was a hike. That's equivalent to me leaving here and going to what that place on 130, all them stores at over there. Over there on Center Mission, that's a walk. We used to do that all the time. There was never no problem. We used to get on our bikes, go where we had to go. Child, if you give some of these kids a bike, they will call the state on you. They'll call the state on you. I don't know if I'm getting another car. Now, why? Because I need to know financially, I set my priorities. And if I have to be inconvenienced to reach my goal, then I'm going to be inconvenienced. Amen. Maybe you do have to eat beans and rice for a few days if you want to accomplish something. Maybe you do need to make some change. But I'm saying, all I'm telling you is don't resist the people called into your life to help you. Amen. Now, those people that resist my help, I'm not saying I'm all in the bag of chips. I'm not. But what I am saying is, in order for their business to grow, they got to learn. And if they won't learn, they'll never be anything. If you won't learn, you'll never be anything. I don't care what God's intentions are. If you're going to live out a lie, you've been born to struggle. Ain't no getting ahead. They won't hire me. I'm too different. No, the devil is a liar. I believe it's the will of God for you to learn who you are and allow God to put the right people in your life to navigate you there. Bow your heads. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for your children that have come to this place to get more of you. I believe you're the true and living God. There's no other God like you in none of the earth. I believe, God, that you are a way maker, a provider. And I believe that you'll give us who we are and what we are in you, allowing us to grow and to flourish in what you have made us to be. We come to this place to represent you in your glory. So have your way in us. Have your way through us, that we may receive an abundance from you. In Jesus' name, amen. Clap your hands, give God praise. Listen to me.